Jace Hinton, and he's kind of the do-all guy.
Jace Hinton, Jace, welcome to the ballpark, brother.
We started talking like sports, and Jace is on fire.
I know.
What's going on, everybody? Media Man and friends here. We got a great guest. As always, make sure y'all check out the channel for your favorite guest. Today on the podcast, I'm so excited about this one. Like, y'all don't understand how excited I am to have her on. Demi, go ahead. Just tell the people about yourself.
What's up? I'm Demi Uffelman. If you've gone to Highlands, you guys know me. I am kind of a little backstory from Hardin, Montana, and was a college softball athlete. I was a pitcher. And now I work in athletics at Weber State. So, yeah, that's kind of a big gist of who I am. So, yeah.
So, fun fact for y'all, Demi, I don't know if you know this. You were the first person I met at Highlands.
Housing,
yeah.
Shout out to housing. We love a good housing job.
First person I met at Highlands, I walked in to get my ID card to get into my dorm. And, like, outside of my roommate, because, like, I knew my roommate from my postgrad, but, like, you were the first person I met at Highlands. And I was like, all right, like, yeah, this is going to be all right. Because you told me you played softball.
Mm-hmm.
And then my mom had to dive in about her softball career.
I remember your mom, like, straight back, because we just were, like, talking softball back and forth. But
oh, yeah. Yeah, that's my life when I'm with her is softball. But no, Demi, tell me how you got, like, I mean, obviously you're from Montana. New Mexico is literally another part of the country.
Yep.
How did you end up at Highlands?
So I kind of have a weird story. I'm 6 foot tall, so I thought I was always going to play volleyball. And in high school, I was a 3-sport athlete. I played softball, volleyball, and then I swam also. And I guess my coach kind of got me into the sport a little bit more going into my sophomore year of high school. So I started the recruiting process a little bit later than most. But I ended up just getting really confident with the sport, and it gave me an opportunity to play college sports, but at the JUCO level. I chose more the JUCO route because I wanted to be a civil engineer than do land surveying, which is
okay.
And now at all. But so I went to a little JUCO in Wapaton, North Dakota State College of Science. If you're in the softball world, they are killing it the last few years. I believe I was a COVID kid in that era, but we took 5th at nationals, and since they've won and took 2nd, they're kicking butt over there.
There we go.
And so after that, I was kind of like, I really want to continue my education, and I think sports could get me there, and I ended up at Highlands. So I ended up changing my major. I went to exercise science, and now I'm doing my sports administration master's, but that's kind of my journey through sports. Probably could have played volleyball, didn't want to. I was way more confident in softball, so I just rode the pitching journey and continued on with the sports as long as I could. So, yeah. And then now I'm in Weber, and I'm an academic advisor there. And so I look over a lot of academics for 6 different teams there. And so I'm still very involved with athletics, love going to all the games and things like that, but kind of indirectly involved with the actual playing. So, yeah.
Yeah. And, you talked about, the JUCO route, COVID kid. Were you a COVID graduate in high school, or were you prior to COVID?
My freshman year of college, so my first year is when they sent everybody home.
Okay, so your first year of college was the JUCO, was the COVID year. Okay.
Yeah, so I got that first year. Technically, I got the first year back. And then we played the second year. We got 2 weekends in, I think, that first year was in college. So, yeah.
So what was that like? Because, like, y'all did the first half of the year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then y'all kind of came back for a little bit that second half, and then all of a sudden it was like you kind of, I mean, I don't know. For us, we went into spring break, and then they were like, "Y'all ain't coming back." Now, granted, I was in high school, so I knew everything that was going on because my mom worked in the school district that I was in, and she was just kind of like, "Yeah, we ain't going back." And I was like, "Man, whatever." Like, because earlier that year we had like a noro flu go through the school,
Oh,
and they sent us home early for Thanksgiving. So I was like, "Man, like it's gonna be the same thing." Yeah, I was wrong, dead wrong. But
yeah.
what was that like? Because like I feel like I didn't make friends like true outside of the team, I guess. Because I mean, I guess being an athlete, it's a little different. But like you almost don't make the real true friend connections until that second half of the year. So what
Yeah.
was that like?
It was really weird, because of course, like, we had the teammates, we had the friends established, and, like, my experience was in North Dakota, so, like, our restrictions were a lot less than typical, um,
Mm-hmm.
but, like, when we got sent home, like, a week early, and they're like, "Okay, 2 weeks, we'll be back," and then another 2 weeks, and then another 2 weeks, so it
Mm-hmm.
was just I think the hardest part was transitioning from having all these new friends and having this new life for 3, 4 months, and then you're all of a sudden thrown back into, like, high school era, and so
Yeah.
it was I think I was struggling more with the fact of, like, will I see my friends again? Because at a
Mm-hmm.
junior college especially, like, kids are out after a year or 2, and so a lot of my friends were graduating, if not transferring, so I think that was hard more than anything, but I don't know, COVID in general is just hard. I was not a fan.
I think more time at my cousin's house than I did my own house because they had like gym equipment, so that's where I spent most of my time.
Mhm. Yeah. Well,
Trying to become big.
right? Well, and, like, coming from a very small town in Montana, like, we don't have as many resources to say, like,
Yeah.
train as like, there's a gym that I had in my town that was created based on volunteer and, like, gifted basically equipment, so, like, I didn't have that opportunity to really do the crazy training like some kids could.
Mm-hmm.
So I just, took advantage of it. I still did my schooling, and then, I mean, we're in Montana, so we were going down to the river, fishing, doing all the things, so that was at least nice.
Doing all the normal things
All
that
the
you don't
normal.
get to do during season.
Yes,
Like
yes.
that was the weirdest thing is it's like, you're so used to having season during that time,
Mhm.
and now you can like as long as you're 6 feet away from somebody, you can go do this, you can go do that, like you
Yeah.
can go four-wheeler riding, you can go
Mhm.
fishing, like it was so weird that like whole time frame. Okay, so fast forward, you get to Highlands.
Mhm.
So you would have been a okay, now I gotta think. COVID sophomore when you got to Highlands?
Academically, yes.
Academically,
But
you
so
were a
I
top.
finished my 3rd year of school, but my 2nd actual true season.
Okay, so you were academically, were you a junior then?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
so you get to Highlands,
Mhm.
and what was like your? I love talking to RMAC athletes because there's always that welcome to the RMAC moment of like, damn, like this is different. Like, what was your welcome to the RMAC moment?
Um, oh geez. I don't know. It was really a weird transition for me because I didn't really know. I came off surgery coming out of JUCO, so I was like,
Mhm.
I know I'm not gonna come out, like, in my prime, like, I'm not, but I'm gonna give it my all,
Mhm.
and so, I mean, I just was like, they hit hard and the air doesn't help. Like, so,
No.
I don't know, that's where, like, my big change was, and then, I mean, there's just the weird little JUCO things. I mean, I pitched all the time in JUCO, and we were a hard-hitting team, like, I think that my team as a whole, we had 80 home runs in that season, 70, 80, something like that. I don't remember. We set the school record that year.
Damn.
So, I would pitch to them and stuff, and, I mean, they prepared me for a lot of hard-hitting kids, but it just gets to a different level every single time, and then, of course, the nerves, you're like, "Okay, now I'm at a 4-year playing and
Yeah.
stuff." So, I don't know. It was fun. I I wanna say JUCO really prepared me, which
Yeah.
I don't know. It was such an odd transition. I feel like it was a blur. I'm not going to lie.
Because I mean, when you look at like the RMAC, like I don't think people
Mhm.
that don't pay attention to like Division II sports realize this. The RMAC, I've heard a lot of comparisons. I've heard the RMAC's like the SEC
Mhm.
of Division II. I've heard the RMAC's like the Big Ten of
Mhm.
Division II. So I've heard like multiple comparisons. If you had to compare it, which one would you say?
I wanna say, like, Big 10.
Big Ten. Okay, yeah, because we do got football strength, but we also got that basketball strength, which I guess right now the SEC has that too, but usually the Big Ten has had it.
Yeah. I don't know. Hmm. I don't know, it's hard because when I did compete, like, we'd go play West Texas and stuff, and, like, when I think West
Yeah,
Texas, I'm like SEC of big or Division II, like,
yeah.
and so I don't know.
And
That's hard
granted, they were Lone Star in the RMAC and Lone Star. We cross over all the time with them,
all the time, and
all
I
the
mean,
time.
but then you also gotta think you got Mesa and Christian and even Regis going in there and just battling, and then, like, that's that's championship games every weekend, you know?
Yeah, Black Hills has been good recently. Like we
Mhm.
actually just got done with a series with Black Hills this past weekend.
Yes, I've been trying to follow the best I can. I'm, like, following 8 different teams right now, and I'm
Man, man. I was like,
it's
I remember Black Hills being decent, but this, I was like,
like, "What?
what? I was
What's
so
happening?"
lost. I was like,
Ugh.
y'all did not have a girl that just hit that ball 450 feet last year. Y'all didn't have that.
No,
Where,
no, and
where,
they're just
where did where did she come from, bro? Like, what is going on?
"What is
But
happening?"
no. So talk about your transition from athlete to now student slash worker as well.
Oh gosh, I have so much more respect for those that work in athletics. Um, as a student athlete, like, I would like to say that I was pretty self-sufficient, and I did the best in all that I could as, like, my own and,
Mhm.
like, tried not to use the resources and, like, that sounds so terrible, but, like, be more self-sufficient than
Yeah.
people. I would like to say that anyway. And now that I'm in a role that I have so many contact points for so many different areas for student athletes, and I mean, I get texts all the time with just random questions, and, I always tell my kids, I'm like, "If you have a question, I can't answer it, I will help you find the answer for it." Um, and just seeing the work that now I have to put in and seeing, like, my coworkers put in that work and even the coaches, because we work really closely with coaches as well. I just have found a new respect for that area and that the amount of time that they have to put in just to create a successful program.
Mhm.
I mean, I oversee 6 teams, so I have about 90 kids I overlook on a daily basis, and I'm constantly weekends, weeknights, like, all that thing, like, all of it. I get texts all the time, and so I really respect it. I think it is truly the foundation that lays, um, like, a successful program, and I think it's really overlooked by, like, student athletes, but obviously, it's the student athletes putting in the work and doing it that at the end creates a successful program, so it's a very different way of looking at it now, like,
Yeah.
I knew they were all tools on the way to success, but I didn't realize that they were, like, the true foundation to success, so
Yeah, no. I mean, you've worked at the Division II level of athletics. Of course, that's how we met was through work.
Mhm.
But what's the biggest difference you see at the Division I, Division II level with athletes?
The biggest difference, the resources. It's
Mhm.
crazy. I mean, the resources that are offered, and I'm just speaking on Weber, the resources and just the different level of support. And that's kind of where Division 2, like, I love Division 2 so much, and I wish they had so much support because they deserve it. They do just as much work with, like, a lot less resources, and
Yeah.
not to, like, crap on, like, smaller schools or bigger schools or anything, it's just how it is, and
Yeah.
but, I mean, they still put in equal amount of work, and it's crazy, so I don't know.
Yeah. No, at the end of the day, I mean, you yourself was a Division II athlete. Like, you know how much work you put in, and then you see how much work that now your students put in. Like, it's unreal. Just
Mhm.
people are like, "Oh, you went to a Division II." Yeah, I probably did more than you did because of the
Mhm.
amount of limited resources that we got.
Oh, yeah. Well, and especially, like, coming from JUCO, I mean, it's
Hmm.
every man for themselves for a little bit.
Literally, I mean,
Kinda
I
get
only
Division 2, but
right. I mean, I only spent a semester at a JUCO, but even then, it was like, man,
Mhm.
it's like every person's got their own way.
Mhm. Well, and
Okay, so
I'm
go ahead.
hardwired to just do things, and
Yeah,
just how I've always been, and I don't know, like, as like, now advising, like, I'm having to help, like, "Hey, this is how you manage a schedule," or like, "Hey, this is how you just do your homework, like, get your homework in." And I've never ever thought I would ever have to, like, teach people that way, and it's like the JUCO mindset of, like,
you got to do it.
just do
Yeah,
it.
just do it. Like, it's not like I think that was like the biggest like advice I ever got. Got it from a guy who ended up going and playing at Colorado School of Mines. Shout out my boy Marcus because I know he watches this because he just likes making fun of me. Uh, but Marcus, like my sophomore year of high school, his senior year of high school, I was a real procrastinator. Like, yeah, I'll do it, I'll do it, I'll do it, I'll do it, but I ain't gonna do it right now, right? He looked at me one day, he said, "Jace, just fucking do it," and I was like,
Okay.
"Okay." After that is like when I get something, I just do it there because then it's done. Like I don't got to worry about it later on down the road. The biggest advice I ever got was just do it. All right. Um, no. So Montana girl,
Yep.
which side of Montana are you? Montana or Montana State?
Montana State all the way.
Okay. Okay.
And I people are gonna sue me because I work for Weaver. But
Do not sue her. All
you're
right, leave her alone.
not you have to pick a like, it's just part of being a
It's
Montana. Cats are
literally that's how. Sometimes I think that's how Colorado is because like, yeah, we got DU, we got
Mhm.
Northern Colorado, we got the D2s, but for real, like you either Colorado or you Colorado State. There ain't no middle. Like
There's no 100%.
DU don't exist, and neither does Northern Colorado. Like at the end of the day, you're Colorado, you're Colorado State. Like there's no middle.
Oh, 100.
Uh, okay, so Montana State, Montana. Like I've heard so much about those games. Have
Oh,
you been to one?
have not been to the actual ones. I've been to a
Okay.
couple, like, or I guess I've been to one of the playoff games. It was SDSU versus Montana State. Absolute wild. Like, and I have a lot of family friends that have season tickets, and like I see videos, I hear them talk about it all the time, and like
Yeah.
definitely, it's a brawl. It's the brawl of
Yeah.
the world. So I mean, it's crazy. I don't know. I want to go eventually. I'm hoping
Now,
to get, but
are y'all Weber State? Are y'all in the same conference?
we're all
Oh, damn! I'd
yeah,
be forgetting that. Now, do
yeah.
y'all have y'all have football, right?
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
So, did y'all play Montana State?
We did not play them this year. We played
Okay.
Montana, and we upset Montana.
So you like that one?
Yes, yeah. I'm hoping this upcoming season we play them in Bozeman, and so the goal is to go watch. But
To
I'm
go,
gonna be right
yeah,
here, like with my little Montana State like friends and family, and I'm gonna like Montana State shirt on, but a Weber State jacket, and just
yeah.
elusive.
There you go. Cause yeah. So you say you play them this year?
Yes, this upcoming year.
Oh, that would be
Well, and
tough.
then Weber State opens with Oregon, so or not.
Yee.
I lied. Montana State opens with Oregon. Sorry,
Ooh,
I'm
that's
like
tough.
confusing schedules.
That's
So
tough.
it was the two number ones.
Cause like I knew about FCS football, right?
Hmm.
And like I watched it a little bit here and there when it was on, kind of thing, and there was like no major bowl games on or whatever.
Hmm.
But when Colorado it announced we were playing North Dakota State, I was like, oh shit.
I watched the end of that game and I was
I
like,
was like, this is the part where
"Yee."
we screw around and we lose. Like I literally, I think I did a prediction of our schedule, and I
Oh,
had us losing that game.
oh, really?
I had us coming out the gate losing that game, and people were like, I got messages from family. They're like, the hell are you doing? I'm like, y'all don't understand. We go fuck around. Like, if we fuck around, we go lose this game.
Oh,
Like,
100%.
because that, like, the FCS, like, football teams, there are some good ass programs. Montana State, North Dakota
Mhm.
State, South Dakota State. Like,
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well,
those
and
are
this
some
is kind
good
of
ass programs.
I always say I'm like FCS is built on the line. Like
Hmm.
they will just wear you down and wear you down, and people just don't think about it. Nobody thinks
Yeah.
about the line, but yeah, I'm interested to see how this Montana State Oregon game goes because Montana State lost Tommy Millott, so that's going to be a bit.
Yeah, I did see that. I did see that.
It's going to be
Yeah.
a change, but I mean, they've built a program now. I mean, they've been pretty much the top for multiple years, so
Hmm.
should have somebody coming up pretty good. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, no, the offensive line you were talking about, like, Colorado, we didn't have a great offensive line, but we didn't have a great defensive line either. But,
Mhm.
like, that was like North Dakota. They just run it down our throat. I'm like, bruh,
Every single time, and they're
add another linebacker if you got to. Like, I don't give a shit. Stop the damn run.
going on.
Like, we have Travis Hunter on the outside. He'll take care of everything else. Stop the fucking run.
Off the run.
Like, goddamn.
And it's so frustrating because it
It
looks like
is.
it's not that hard, but it's so
Oh,
hard.
it's so difficult. Like,
Oh, I
man.
just love it.
So, with you being at the FCS level,
Mhm,
I also do another podcast, Up West Sports,
mhm.
with Lindsay shit, Ridgeway is her last name. I hope I said that right. Sorry, Lindsay, if I didn't. She worked at NAU.
Oh, okay.
So she
Mhm,
talked about, we had a podcast episode, we talked about the FCS kickbacks. They get a lot of the FBS kickbacks.
mhm,
Now at NAU, they get a lot of the Valley kids from that couldn't go to Arizona or couldn't go to Arizona State, right?
mhm.
You guys, you're surrounded by BYU, Utah State, UVU. They don't have football, so you don't really worry about them. Is that
Utah Tech. We have
Utah Tech? Yeah, Dixie State. Well, I know them as Dixie
yeah,
State.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure you know them as Dixie State
yeah.
too. So like those four schools, really, they're all FBS, right? Is
Mhm.
Dixie is Utah Tech? Are they FBS or are they FCS?
They're FCS. Or no,
They're FCS.
no, they're FBS.
Oh, they are FBS.
I thought.
I don't. Oh, are they one of those? Are they the fools that are transitioning to?
Yeah,
Are
because
they going to the Mountain West?
I want to say they are. I couldn't. I don't pay
No,
attention.
they're right now they're Division One FCS, but they are one of the teams that is looking at. They're trying to jump and go to.
I was gonna say there was a lot of talk with the Mountain West stuff happening,
Hmm.
and
They're one of the programs that are trying to go Mountain West.
that would make sense.
Yeah,
That would
and
make
then but like mainly like right there in Weber, like Utah State's up in Logan, and
Mhm.
then BYU, of course. Do you get a lot of kickbacks from those three mainly?
Um, we do more than I thought. Like we
Okay.
do quite a bit. I think it's really weird now because there is a lot of transferring happening, but then also
Yeah.
like between like the house settlement and stuff, kids are kind of like getting a little more tentative than say
Yeah.
otherwise. So we do get a lot more than I would have anticipated, but it's
Hmm.
not as much as you would think. I don't know. But it seems like I don't know, we get a pretty good spread of a lot of kids, but we do get a lot of I would like to say that we do get a lot of in-state kids. We recruit a lot of Utah kids, so yeah.
Yeah, and I played a lot out in Utah. Obviously, we've spoke. I have family out there, and
Mhm.
so I played a lot of baseball games out there in Utah. Actually, this past weekend we were talking about a high school in Colorado
Mhm.
on the broadcast, and I thought I had played them. I actually played a similar school with the same name in Utah, and I got the two confused.
That
So
happens?
that was really entertaining. My mom was like, "Jace, you didn't play Roosevelt, Colorado." I said, "Yeah, I did. We played that. This was the school. Like these were their colors." She goes, "Jace, that's Utah." I was like, "Ah,
Ooh, that makes sense.
that's
Well,
tough."
and, like, I always forget because 'cause I'm just tucked right up in the corner, like, how close I
Hmm.
am to Colorado and like Wyoming, and so and there's so many similar names. I'm like, I can't keep up. Like,
Yeah. You're like right there. Yeah, I mean, you guys aren't. Yeah, y'all really aren't far from us in Wyoming. Like y'all for real. Like, how far are y'all from Utah State?
Oh goodness, I couldn't even tell you. I'm still trying to
Okay.
live in the area. I'm not gonna lie. I just
Because
go
like,
on the weekends and hope for the best. Like,
yeah, because I spent a weekend at Utah State, or
Oh.
not a weekend, a week or a month or like a summer. Actually, screwed a
Mhm.
whole. I spent a whole month in Logan,
there.
playing.
Say it's like an hour. It's not
Yeah, because we would like my buddy and I. We would go down to Salt Lake when we were bored,
that. Mm-hmm.
and I'd see my family, and then we would go to like a Bees game,
Mm-hmm.
and then we go check out Utah, and then we go
Mm-hmm.
check out Utah Valley,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'd drive, and then we'd check out Weber, and then
Yep.
we'd go back to Logan. So
Yep.
like we would just make our trips around the area because what else are you gonna do on a Sunday in Utah? You know what I mean? But like,
Well, also
I
like
mean,
everything's so close that like why not? Like I do
yeah,
the same thing. I'll just like go on a random drive. I'm like, we'll go find something to do.
there's something. There's always something going on. Like you'll find something.
Oh my gosh.
Like
Yeah.
yeah,
I always get into shenanigans. Like I just drive around. I'm like, oh, this is happening today. That's really cool.
yeah. Like there's just some random thing going on the corner. You're like, yeah, let's
Like,
swerve
let's
at that
stop.
corner. You know? All right, let's talk about the stuff that you and I like to talk about. We like talking softball.
Yes.
Like Demi and I, if we got the opportunity all the time to talk softball, we would.
Yes.
Like we
Yep.
love talking softball. Weber State, y'all just went through a gauntlet
Oh my
of
gosh. And they beat San Diego State, which
yep.
in 9 great times. Yeah, they had
They also
they had a lot of tough teams this weekend.
yeah, you also just got done with your LSU Tigers.
Yes. That
What
was
was-
I wanted
what was
to
that
watch
like?
it. I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
It's like, I mean, like y'all don't realize, like when you grow up,
Mm-hmm.
if you grow up a college sports fan, like you're Montana State. I grew up Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Colorado, we don't have baseball or softball.
Well, and that's Montana State never had
Yep.
softball. So like
it's like
up as a kid, we'd always go to Montana softball camps. So
right. So you kind of become attached to a certain
mm-hmm.
program. Mine, I got attached to Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but like I actually think I do know why. Like one of their pitchers was really attractive when I was a kid, so like that would make a lot more sense.
There for a while. They were
Yeah.
they
And
were
so like I naturally cheer for Florida State. And
Mhm.
like I'm trying to get more like posting about college softball, looking at college softball, like trying to bring more awareness to it.
Mhm.
Man, when's the last time you saw Arizona and UCLA play in March?
that I was like, there's been some like I typically those first couple weekends, like I catch a couple of the big games, but like
Yeah.
me and my mom were watching college softball all day yesterday, and I'm like, these are good matchups. Like Ohio State beat Georgia yesterday,
Georgia.
like by a lot. I think it was 7-0, and I'm like, Georgia's like ranked 11
14th.
today now, but they were ranked pretty high.
They were 14th in the country.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just weird things like that. Like there was another upset. Texas Tech was beat by Idaho State, which they have Nigeri Kennedy, which is crazy. I'm like, typically that
I totally forgot she transferred to Tech
Mhm.
because I remember her at Stanford, right? Like the
Mhm.
Pac-12, like obviously in the Pac-12, I grew up watching UCLA, Arizona. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, that game went 10 innings.
Yeah.
Arizona got the better of UCLA.
Mhm.
But like with the conference realignment, those two teams didn't play
Yeah.
until like April, like
Mhm.
around tournament time. Like you didn't see that, and now they're playing the 1st of March.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's
I'm
like
who was the other team that I was just watching? Oh gosh, I'm pulling a brain fart.
Tech beat A&M.
Yeah. There were some crazy weird
Wow.
matchups that I was just like, like my mom and I were talking, we're like, we want to go to one of these invitationals
Yeah.
this year because it's all these conference change-ups. It's like really changing up these matchups, like
Well,
a little too much craziness.
and South Carolina opened up with Duke
Mm-hmm.
in Durham and swept them
And
in
swept them.
Durham. And
It-
Durham and Duke's sitting at 8.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Also, I don't know if you've noticed this all the way around, but the speed that has been on the bases this year,
oh my Lord.
overall, I'm like, what? Like,
Yeah.
they're having to like replay like routine ground balls, and I'm like, what is going on?
Like, and you're seeing it so much. Like, even this past weekend, like, yeah, at the Division II level, there are some faster players too.
Mm-hmm.
But like a routine ground ball, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, I'm doing stats, so I'm like, yeah, okay, 6-3. Oh, she's safe?
Oh, she's safe. What's happening?
Oh, that's crazy. 1BSS. Oh, that's crazy. Like,
Well, and it's I love preseason too because you get to see all these new pitchers, and there are some freshmen that are just absolutely killing it. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Of course I'm an LSU Tiger fan, but like right now they're freshman pitchers absolutely killing it. I'm
yeah.
like absolutely like watching every game.
And I won't say like I never say nothing nice about Nebraska. That is like not that it just doesn't. No.
Well, and
But
then
like
with
they
Nebraska,
got
they're getting like 7 on them, and they have
yeah.
Jordan on staff. Like, what is going on?
I'm like,
What
I
is
mean, yeah.
water?
You add Jordan Ball.
Yeah.
She gets hurt last year. Okay, cool. I remember that one. I was sad. I was like,
Oh my gosh.
damn, I'm sad. Like
Yeah.
sad.
Sad.
And then
Big time.
I can't stand those fools up in that god awful state. But like they're putting up numbers. Like they put 14 up the other day on
Yeah.
like Wisconsin or no, Wichita State. It was close enough. Like, but like you're getting runs scored on you. You have Jordan Ball. I don't think she had more than 2 runs scored on her entire career at Oklahoma. What
Yeah.
are y'all doing?
I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I love to see like a powerhouse like Oklahoma, and this sounds so bad, but like lose players like that because I like to see
Yeah.
the competition spread out through everything. But it just is it really makes you wonder. You're like, okay, they have amazing players, obviously, but like the coaching staff, like
Mm-hmm.
that has to like that's the only thing that makes sense. Granted, she's coming off injury, but
Yeah.
still, you know,
Well, and Patty Gasso at Oklahoma. I mean,
she's a
Go.
wizard.
I mean, go. Nothing else you could say.
Big
Her
time.
son, actually, this is funny. Her
Mhm.
son is the pitching coach at Utah. I think
Gosh.
pitching or hitting coach. I think.
I want to say hitting.
Is he the hitting coach?
I want to say.
We'll find out.
They
But
beat Utah also. So.
what? Oh, y'all got Utah?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I think
that would be the game I would show
whole
up.
weekend. 2 of my freshies, they did the walk off for that San Diego State game. That was
Yeah.
a proud mom moment.
Hey, you know what? That's always the best. He's not at Utah.
Utah?
Nah, he's.
I did
Oh, weird.
left, but I thought he did anyway. That could be. There's
Huh.
been so many weird changes in softball. It's crazy.
I'll let you guess where he's at. He's the associate head coach at Oklahoma. Weird.
JT, right? JT Gasso?
Yeah, JT.
I thought he left. I could have swore he left.
Nah, he's back.
Huh.
He back.
He's back. He's
Damn.
That's
He's
crazy.
like-
Huh.
so right now there's a lot of talk. I'm sitting here looking at the Division I softball site.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of talk of who should be at number 1. So you got a 3-way tie right now for what a lot of people think should be down to Florida, Texas, and Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, they're all SEC now. Actually, the first 5 teams in the top 25 are SEC. Oklahoma, Texas, Florida, A&M, LSU.
Go Tigers.
all I can think of when I hear that is Ed Orgeron when he was the football coach there. You don't understand a word that man said. Go Tigers. You understood go Tigers, but everything else was.
I feel like, and this is going to be an unpopular opinion, and I haven't watched a ton of it to know, but based on what I've curated through the last couple of years, Florida, I feel like should be number one.
Ooh, okay.
I feel like they're getting some like sneaky program foundational pieces that like as soon as these girls are going to mature, like they're just going to keep growing.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that started last year with their pitching staff.
Yeah, their pitching staff last year they were good.
And like young. They were very young,
Uh-huh.
but like the more maturity, like it's just going to keep growing them. But Oklahoma, of course, is always powerhouse. Texas is always there, but like honestly, like they're really good and they deserve to be in a ranked position. But like I don't know. I'm not
Well, and
really.
Tim Walton, he's been at Florida forever. He's the head coach of Florida softball. Like he knows how to build a program.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm a Florida State guy, so I really shouldn't talk nice about Florida. But like at the end of the day, like I grew up just a softball fan, and Florida, I also grew up in the time where Tim Tebow was king,
Mhm.
and Florida was where he went to school. So I grew up a little bit of a Florida guy.
Yep.
But like I grew up a Florida State softball fan and baseball fan, so like Florida State
Mhm.
has always been my softball baseball school.
Mhm.
But like it's just like Tim Walton, like he has done amazing things at Florida. Obviously, we talked about Patty Gasso,
Oh yeah.
uh, Almeida. Oh damn, why am I drawing a first name blank on the head coach at Florida State? Yes.
Yep.
Holy, that was hard, Jace.
You're
Like,
like, wait.
there's so many good coaches, and like I
Mhm.
noticed this the other day. Is it like it seems like a norm in college softball? Coaches stick around forever at schools.
They build a program and they run with it. Like, and that's, I think, one of my favorite things about softball. Like, they truly buy into a program. And I think that's also just something in women's sports too. Like,
Yeah.
I love that about women's sports. I love to see like the loyalty to a true program and a culture. Like, it's just built around it. Like the sunflowers with Florida, like that's just like tradition that's grown and it's just a Florida thing. Like, and I don't think it'll ever die at this rate. Like,
No.
and yeah. And like, I don't know. I'm always here for the culture. I love it. And maybe that's just because I'm Montana kiddo, because we are all culture and tradition. But yeah.
Well, and like, I mean, I grew up like Colorado, like we had a new football coach every other year. But like our women's basketball coach, she's been there for a while. Our head basketball men's coach, Tad Boyle, I don't think that guy's gonna leave till he's dead.
Yeah.
Like you see, like there are certain sports, people just get the norm of college football. New coach comes in, he's only gonna be there for a few years till he gets a better opportunity. Like that's not really how it works.
Yeah.
At a lot of other sports.
Yeah. Well, and like I always like there's always the transfer portal talk and all this stuff. I'm like, I think there's a time and place for the transfer portal. Personally, I think it loses the loyalty to a program, which is my favorite part about college sports. I love a good traditional program that, you build from the ground up and then some. But it's so weird because like same thing, like, and even just to conferences, like, I mean, of course, me being LSU Tiger fan, you got Beth Tarina, who's been there forever, but she was also an SEC athlete. So it's like, we love the loyalty. We love the loyalty within softball.
Yeah. Were you honestly, like, when the whole conference realignment, were you sad to see the Pac-12 go, like, softball-wise?
I don't know. Like, I just always have been an SEC softball girly, so I never, like, I of course would watch them, but I wasn't super crazy loyal to them. But
well, y'all didn't have to really worry about the Pac-12 till you got in the tournament. So like,
yeah, I think, yeah, because I did watch like Washington and stuff a lot. So it was sad seeing those rivalries kind of
Yeah.
dissipate a little bit. I mean, like Heather Tar is like crazy and watching them with Oregon and stuff, like, you know,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I think it probably hurt more just football rivalry. I don't know. And I'm not that big of a football fan, love it, but at the same time,
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
like, yeah. All right. All right. Let's
Yeah.
get some 21 questions out of the way here.
Oh gosh.
What was your jersey number and why?
So me and my best friend always grew up with, we were always team 10, me and Connor.
Mm-hmm.
And we rode bus 10, all the things. So I was always 10. And my freshman year in high school, I was lengthy and tall, but I was really skinny. And so we ran out of smalls and mediums, and they were like, Demi, you get a large. And so they gave me 12. And so I
Yeah.
just ran a 12, and I've always been 12 since. So
There you go. I mean, I was always 11. My mom wore 11, so I was always 11. And then when we got to pick our own jersey numbers, like for travel ball,
Mhm.
I was like, oh, I could be something different. Okay.
Okay.
So I did 17. I grew up a big Todd Helton fan. I was a first baseman myself. And then I got into college. The guy that was wearing 17 had varsity lettered over me first.
Oh gosh.
The guy that was wearing 11, I was really good friends with.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, all right.
War for numbers.
I was like, all right. And I kind of thought about it. I was like, you know what? My dad wore 17 in high school. My mom wore 11 in high school.
Mhm.
I'm going to be different.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then I switched to jersey number 1 because
Okay.
my thought was at least I'm number 1 in something. I was never number 1 in anything. I was number 1 on the field, damn it. Okay.
Jersey number.
All right. So let's go with who did you look up to growing up, and is it still the same today?
Overall or athlete?
We're gonna do both. So do both.
Oh gosh. Okay. Athlete, my like idol was Carly Hoover from LSU. Absolutely love her.
Yep.
Overall, I mean generically just my family, you know.
Yeah.
That's very typical, but the family, they made do with what they can, and I thought that I was going to do that, but in my own little way. So
Yeah.
gotta love it.
All right. I like that. Okay, so you're not a Colorado person, so you wouldn't actually, I don't know, maybe these are out there in Utah. I can't remember. Chipotle, Qdoba. I don't know if you know of either one of those.
Mhm.
What's your like go-to Chipotle order though?
I hated Chipotle until college.
Yeah, I know the feeling, man.
Never
I know
done
the
Qdoba, but I
Qdoba's a Colorado thing. So like I always like I put on here like these questions these are the
oh
questions
yeah.
I pull up all the time. And it's like go to Chipotle/Qdoba order. Because if I ask somebody from Colorado, like, what's your Chipotle order? They're gonna be like, I'm Qdoba, and it's like,
Like,
my bad, gang. Like, what you?
oops.
My bad.
My order is the most basic because I don't like veggies, but it's literally rice, beans, chicken, sour cream, and a crap ton of cheese.
Hey,
I'm like,
y'all understand why we get along, right? Like, she
yep,
don't like veggies, I don't like veggies. That's why we get along. Like, y'all don't understand, like, just how it is, man. Y'all don't understand that.
it's terrible.
All right. Shit.
It's so bad.
Gatorade or Powerade?
Gatorade, yellow.
Yep.
Yellow.
Y'all don't understand why we get along. Y'all don't get it. Oh my god. Coke or Pepsi?
Oh gosh, whatever Dr. Pepper is.
Okay, they're their own affiliation, so that doesn't help.
I thought they were Coke. Are they Coke?
Nah,
No,
nah,
no, I'm Dr. Pepper. So
they-
screw that.
all right, so screw both of them. I love it. I love it. Is there like a certain cause out there that people don't like pay attention to that you think is important that you want to highlight real quick?
Cause. There's so many options.
Oh, I know.
I don't know. None of them ring a bell. I don't know. I
Okay.
always go by do good as a person.
Yeah.
Just a human and everyone will be happy.
Absolutely. Favorite style of music and your favorite artist in that genre?
Favorite style, I've really been in alternative lately. Um,
Okay.
Alternative, like almost more on the rocky side. I don't know
Okay.
if I just went to a Bryce Vine concert. I don't know if he falls into the alternative rock, but I love Bryce Vine. 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Does he sing Sour Patch Kids? Is that
Yeah.
the same guy? Yes, I like that song. I really like that song. I think I got introduced to that song in like I was in high school, maybe.
Yes, and
Like
he's
on
got
a
an album coming out, so 10
oh
because he had, like, disbanded from his current or his former label, so he's going independent now.
okay. I'm gonna have to check that out for sure.
Definitely.
Okay. Hobbies that don't relate obviously to work, your sport that you played, or anything like hobbies that you have.
I'm a grandma at heart, so I love quilting.
I do remember that.
I love quilting, make blankets a lot. Um, and then recently, because I moved to Utah, I've been starting to, like, ski and hike a lot more,
There you
so
go.
gotta love it.
Get into skiing. I
Gosh.
do remember you talking about quilting.
Hey, don't hate on it, 'cause
I
I
ain't,
see
cause
it,
like
and
I
'cause
just remember the first time you said it in the press box. I was on the broadcast and I said, "Do what?" I mean, what? Hold up. I was I was like, okay.
Hey, listen, like, it puts the old jerseys to use, it puts all the
Hey,
cute
for
t-shirts
real.
to use, like, they are still being used to this day.
Like
They're not sitting
like
in the
I've seen some of those cool quilts that people make. I had
yeah,
a friend, or I think no, it was my cousin had her old jerseys all put into a quilt. Like that shit's badass, man.
it's
Like
so cool, and it's so fun to do, like, it's just relaxing, so
all my old jerseys are hanging up around my room back home because like it's my ring of honor. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
I'm like, I have, like, 3 quilts at this rate, and they're all, like, just different camp shirts, like, I coulda made it one for each sport, but I just didn't.
All right. If you could have dinner with any celebrity or athlete, who would it be?
Any celebrity or athlete? If I was to do athlete, not even athlete, like, I quite literally think I would wanna sit down with, like, Beth Torina.
Oh, okay.
I love her, and that's the tiger in me, but love
Yeah.
her to death.
Yeah. Hey, no, that I totally get that. That's for sure. All right. Something people don't know about you. Like if they were to look at Demi and go, I don't expect that. Like quilting probably is the one, but
I
like
was gonna say quilting. Um, I'm kind of an introvert, I have found in my since not being an athlete.
really?
I'm pretty quiet until you really get to know me.
Yeah, see, and
Then you get to know
work
me, I'm like a crackhead.
like working with you though, like I wouldn't granted I get everybody to talk because I'm a talkative person. So
Fair,
like even if
fair.
you don't want to talk, you're gonna talk. Like
You're
that's
gonna
just the way it
be
is. Like I don't care. Like you don't get a choice. You're gonna talk because I'm gonna say some stupid shit to make you talk. Like I'll
and
say the sky is purple. If you're talking now, fool. Like what's up with it? You know?
I
Um,
also feel like people don't people don't realize that I do come from a farming background until
yeah,
I tell them. Like everyone's like, "Oh, you're from Montana? Like you're a farm kid? Like what?"
yeah.
Like nobody ever guesses
Well,
it.
and obviously we both grew up in farming towns.
Mhm.
See, the funniest thing for me, and I never like when I moved to California and I moved to Arizona and I moved here, everybody thinks I'm from Texas.
I've had like a lot of people think I'm from like Tennessee.
Like I'm
Like what?
like I had somebody we were playing like games and like you're playing games with people when you first get to college, you're playing like
Mhm.
stupid drinking games because you're college kids, you don't give a shit. Yes, I just exposed myself, whatever, nobody
Oh no.
cares. Um but like, and it's like somebody's first impression off of you.
Mhm.
And like I'd been playing with people that knew I was from Colorado
Mhm.
and they were like, "Yeah, I thought you were from Texas." I was like,
Like, what?
Like, what? And then somebody who didn't know me was like, "You're not from Texas?"
Like,
Like, do I got that? But then again, my grandma's from Texas, so sometimes some of the things she says, like y'all, and then like
mhm.
I have a little bit of twang in there. Like,
Yeah, I
it's
get
just
the
habit.
stuff because my mom's
Yeah,
like North Dakota border, so I get the
yeah.
in the bag and yeah.
Like
All
in like the way we like, especially the way we say things when you come from a farming town, the way you say
Mm,
things
yep.
are like,
Like,
what?
what's
Like,
what are you talking about?
what like? Oh, the one that drives me nuts. I don't say it, thank God, because it drives me nuts. But wash.
Oh, my grandma says that all the time.
Yes. Okay. I'm
Wash,
like, I tell my grandma, I'm like, there's no or.
wash.
Like I will show you the letter. There is no or in this word.
0 R's.
No or. Like I don't even. Whatever. Man,
Oh,
I
we love
gave up a long time ago. Favorite types of movies, like what genre?
comedy. Definitely.
Ooh, big comedy. So
Big.
like what type? Like what kind of movies? Like what are we talking? Like what
I love
movies? You like?
anything like dark humor or like Adam Sandler, like just like complete estranged comedy. Like
Okay.
it's yeah. I am my father's daughter and watch anything funny and then some. So
Yeah, I got you. Is there like a show that you're binging right now that you want to tell the people about?
Mm. I've been watching Criminal Minds, which is not along the lines of comedy, but been watching. Oh my gosh! Also, sorry, brain. Yeah, comedy, Criminal Minds, and then me and my neighbor just watched Wags
Yeah,
to Witches. Oh my gosh, we thought
I
it was
heard about that.
ever, and yeah,
Okay.
we're obsessed with that. Trash reality TV and dating shows is another good one for me.
Trash reality TV is crazy. Oh my
Love
god.
the Kardashians. I will
Okay.
and I will turn on the Kardashians for my dog. I don't get it. She loves it. But
Oh my lord. Okay. All right. Well, what obviously work led you to Weber State, but like why Weber State? Like nobody really knows about them. Obviously work played a
yeah.
factor, but like why was it like, yeah, you know what? I can see myself here.
Mhm. So obviously like it's kind of close to Montana. I always wanted to be in the Carolinas and stuff. Just because I love the humidity and that sounds
Mhm.
crazy. But I wanted to be there and I started applying really early. Like I started applying like 4 months early. And so
Mhm.
I hadn't really heard a ton from anybody, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna keep applying, see what happens." And Weber just kept popping up on this position, and I'm like, "You know what? Like, I keep seeing it. It's gotta be a sign."
Yeah.
And so I applied, and I looked at the distance. It was 8 hours from home, so that's the closest I've ever been since quite literally high school.
Mhm.
And so I was like, "I'm gonna apply, see what happens." They called me out to do an interview, and it went really well, and I really actually liked the area, like, my
Yeah.
backyard is the mountain, so, um, I'm liking it a lot more than I thought I would've,
Yeah.
like, actually considering being there longer than I thought. So, yeah, don't sleep on the places that you don't necessarily see yourself right away.
Yeah, I mean, and like the other thing that you said that
Mhm.
I want to express is like apply. Apply,
Mhm.
apply, apply. Like even if it's a job in across the country,
Oh, yeah.
apply. You
I have
never know
applied
what
in
yeah,
Buffalo, New York, like,
exactly.
you
Like you never know what
know?
opportunities are gonna present themselves.
Yeah, I know anything in sports, it's you can kinda take it however way you wanna go, and I knew that I needed to build my resume, and also I wanted to explore and be away from home because why not? I'm in
Mhm.
my 20s, I can do that, but at the same time, it was one of those things like, I am decently close to home, I can still be my own little independent person and kind of explore and do my things. Also, big perk, Salt Lake City Airport. I was like, "I can go travel for cheap."
Yep. Salt Lake City is a perfect airport to fly out of, literally.
So, it was kinda just like, didn't realize it, applied, ended up getting the job. I'm like, "I don't know why I didn't, like, apply right away when I saw the position." So, yeah.
Yeah. All right, Demi. Any last words before we get out of here with this?
No, I think that's all. But yeah, thanks for having me. It was tons of
Yeah.
fun. So gotta love talking sports with Jace.
Hey, man. You know, that's what I'm here for. You know
We
how it
missed
is.
Saturday, Sunday shenanigans and
Oh,
then
my Lord. Man, wait till you tell off air. Wait till I tell you about the shenanigans this past weekend. All right, y'all. Media Man and friends, y'all always know how it is. We're going to have guests on here. I'm trying to post every Monday, Wednesday. If I don't, I'm sorry. If I do, great. But, you know, y'all appreciate y'all for watching. Demi, appreciate you coming on. We'll
Thank
catch
you.
y'all later on the flip side.
Bye.